Okay, definitely. Is that it?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then go like this, but it gets
All right.
like super tight.
We'll check that at the end, you know. His neck is broken. You know, your head should be able to go back. You're stopping about here. And I'm double your age. I'm 38. You understand? So your neck should be able to drop back, and then
The first visit they took the x-rays. The second visit they did all like the lines and the degrees. And then my third visit was supposed to be the actual adjustments after I paid them the money. So I wisened up and said, yeah, I'm not going to do that one.
there you go.
Ooh.
There you go. Doing great. It's okay. There it is. Good.
Felt like my whole brain rattle.
Just easy. Breathe for a second. Okay?
Yeah, I feel that.
Just try to look up for me. Just gently look up. Yeah.
All the way, or?
As far as you can. Oh yeah, there you go. I'm gonna say, you know, you had lost about 15, 20 degrees of your ability to bend back. You know. There you go. Whew. Okay. Ooh, that felt good.
I used to do weightlifting actually, and that's when I first like really discovered everything.
Okay.
So even before weightlifting, I used to go on the jet ski like with my stepfather and my family, and we used to go on like the tube. He used to string it across the jet ski. And we used to go like flying pretty much, and falling off of it. You know, it's just, it's a lot of like trauma on the body.
I grew up with the jet ski, so yeah, my dad, we had the tube, and then one story I got fell off, went underneath the water. The line came like right across where I was. You know, if I had come up too early, it would have, clotheslined me. But go ahead,
Yeah, so that would happen, and I remember one time, this was like literally the last time I ever won, because I was traumatized after that. We were going so fast that I started lifting up off the water, and then the wave started hitting it, and then that's when I remember I fell off. I was on the left side of it. It was a 3-person one, and then I landed on my side, and ever since then I was like, okay, my hips aren't
Something
the
got
same. Yeah.
torqued. Okay, and so you went to see a chiropractor with those symptoms, and what did they do? They just kind of adjusted you? And
So they just took x-rays. They didn't adjust. They just said, okay, we want to have a game plan, and we'll get back to you in like a week.
Okay.
And that's what we have right here.
Sure, I'm seeing a lot of like structural things. They're talking about the curve, like this picture here. So they're drawing this green line is indicating where your neck curve should be. You know, the red line, because of this is where in school and life and looking down, we lose the natural lordosis and arch in our neck, and then it creates a disproportionate amount of work going down to your lower neck. This area up here ends up getting too stiff. When the lower neck gets overworked, your head goes forward. And so we're on the prevention side here. Right now you might just be feeling tension, some soreness, because your alignment's wrong, while 10, 20 years from now will be, the symptoms can increase to nerve pressure or more pain. I'm not a big proponent of this kind of analysis because it's looking, you're taking one snapshot of somebody's body. Do you understand?
Yeah.
And if you took a video of this, you would see that it's like water. It constantly moves around a little bit. You understand? And you're taking one snapshot, and we're creating all these angles and degrees from one static picture of a motion, of something that's actually in motion. So I would caution, determining an entire course of treatment off of these x-rays. And a lot of the things that you're seeing here, the shifting, can be because you're in pain. The body will do this to alleviate pressure, right? And that antalgia isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's your body intelligently moving pressure around. Like if you injured your right ankle, you would put more weight on your other ankle, right? So what this indicates to me is that you've had injuries and your body's having to go into avoidance. X-rays miss a lot of injuries because we can't see the cartilage. So these little dark spaces here are where the discs are. So these are the pieces of cartilage in the spine. And when those discs get injured, before they rupture out, they'll actually swell up and then they herniate out. That makes sense? Mm-hmm. So on x-ray, all we get is the space. All you see is the shadow where the disc is, and all you can see is the bone. But when they're actually giving a millimeter rating, okay, the disc it's really thick, that's good. It's not, that's like, it could be about to get injured.
Yeah.
That makes sense. So it can give you a false sense of the things that I do look at on this x-ray is that there's nothing, the bones are, in terms of their front to back alignment, there's nothing broken. So if you can actually injure the ligaments that allow these bones to actually travel forward and back. So they're all lined up. That's what this red line here. These all line up.
Oh,
That makes
yeah.
sense? So this is called George's line. If anything, you might have too much curve at the bottom here. I would actually say you have hyperlordosis here, and then this is too straight up here. So this is when we're stretching in the end, we're actually gonna have your knees bent. So curve is not created or destroyed, just changes places. So when we lose the curve in our middle back, it goes to an accentuated curve at the bottom. So you might actually be pinching this a little bit because, so these are little holes here, these little dark holes, those are where the nerves go through. Get the idea?
Yeah.
These little holes that the nerves are going through on the side. And that last guy at the bottom, little smaller, you understand? See how big these guys are?
Yeah, it's not as, yeah.
And that's the shadow is that's the hole right there. When you bend forward, the hole gets bigger. That makes sense?
Mhm.
When you bend back, the hole gets smaller. So you have too much bending right at the bottom, and then this is straighter than it's supposed to be, and then you have a hyperextension at the bottom. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna not only first loosen your spine, but we're gonna put the dentarole up here to induce some arch up here, and then we'll have your knees bent to take some of it out of here. That makes sense? Because
Yeah.
you're getting too much extension just at the bottom, and you're gonna start pinching that lower back, and that can actually give you some hip tightness, and even your body's ability to try to shift and move things around can be because this is already, already kind of close to the cliff edge. Back numbness, tell me about that.
So, I recently started working out like regularly, and whenever I like do back workouts, normally like 1 to 2 days after, I would get numbness like along the spine, but it was on like the left side, like more towards right here.
So in between your shoulder blades.
Yeah, a little
left
bit
side.
higher and then more on the left. Yeah, right there.
Okay.
Like wherever that is.
Is it
that's-
numb? Is it numb right now? Can you?
No. I didn't even go anywhere near that when I was working out.
It just gets numb from time to time, and
Okay.
then normally what I do, I'll just like grab a tennis ball and like stand up against the wall and just like try to.
How big of an area? You think it's like about the size of
Yeah,
a ball?
most definitely, yeah.
Just go if when you're touching it, just feels totally
It feels like static, like that type of numbness.
like kind of tingly. Like
Yeah. Absolutely.
Okay.
And it's just like that side. My right side is perfectly fine. I've never had that issue with it.
Mhm.
And it was just this side right here.
Okay.
And then,
I don't think there's any X-rays of your chest.
yeah.
I don't think there was any, other than the A to P one. I don't think there's any. I think they did the A to P. They do a lateral chest. So there's nothing. Obviously, there's nothing anatomically. There's no bones are out of place here. But it doesn't. There's a lot that we can't see with X-ray. Most likely, what's going on in there is the joints inflamed. So the knuckle, the nerve, is right next to the joint. And when you're lifting weights, you're putting a lot of mechanical stress on those joints, and then that joint is actually irritating the nerve, giving you numbness in that area. Would be my, without an MRI, I doubt very highly that there's any disc injury in there. I've felt that personally myself when I was a teenager, and I kind of did those activities. I would feel like almost like ants were crawling on me, right?
Yeah.
A paresthetic right in there. And a lot of that has to do also with the position of the school and sitting and driving. We're bent forward, and then when we go work out, our alignment isn't in the right position. So I think a lot of that would go away very quickly, just adjusting that area, balancing the mobility so that not one joint is probably overstressed and then irritating the nerve, giving you that numbness. Does that make sense? One segment is doing too much in there.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go through your spine, spread the peanut butter over all the area, so that nobody wants peanut butter and jelly sandwich where it's all in one clump. We want to spread the work over a larger area. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Your head is you're in left avoidance. That's what the X-ray was showing. There's an injury. This is the side where the numbness was on.
Yeah.
Left side. So what's going on is your head is wanting to tilt to the right because you're pinching. You overwork this side, and now over time you're going to actually overstress the right side because you're in left avoidance. You stay right there for me, bud. I got you. And we're dealing with about an inch and a half forward. Your head's forward from the shoulders, and that is what we call global postural analysis. We want to get the ear hole over the center of the shoulder. The more forward your head goes, that also puts a lot of stress on the thoracic cage. We want to get your chest in. Was there a plan at your so were they doing any extension stretching? Was it just adjustments and?
They basically said just come in. They were going to schedule like another appointment, and then they were going to talk about the game plan. So then I did end up going, and then they were like, "Yeah, we're going to charge you. I think it was $3,000, and we're going to adjust you over the course of 6 months, and we're going to see you like twice a week."
Okay.
And they were pretty much super vague about what exactly
But
they
there
wanted
wasn't
to
a
do.
plan of stretching or anything. Okay. A lot of this, especially at 19, you shouldn't need that level of treatment, in my opinion. I mean, unless you have an MRI with disc injuries and herniations, but from what I'm seeing in there, at least from the X-rays, I don't see evidence of that yet. And you're not that old enough to really have a lot of the things that would need that or necessitate that level of treatment. It's stretching that made your posture worse, and it's stretching that fixes it. So we want to get your spine limber up. I'll see how, if it's, I expect it to not be too stiff, but if it's pretty stiff, then I'll recommend more, work deep tissue. If it's moving, we'll put you on the stretches, and then that should be your way of taking care of yourself. Just gently turn your head either side, pick a side, just turn your head.
Okay.
Just turn your head, a little limited that way, yeah. Go ahead and turn your head the other way. A little easier that way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bring your head back. How? Okay, definitely, is that it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like I go like this, but it gets
All right.
like super tight.
We'll check that at the end, I'm gonna. His neck is broken. You know what you're stopping about here. And I'm double your age. I'm 38. You understand? So your neck, you should be able to drop back. And that has to do with, do you have the whole neck working evenly, right? If part of your neck is really stiff, then you don't have all the degrees of range of motion that you should have. So part of your neck is gonna then be overstressed. Most likely the upper neck is tight. We'll check that at the end. I expect we'll, especially at 19 years old, you're gonna get a lot more range of motion than that. I expect full range of motion at 19. Take a deep breath in. Fine, there we go. Deep breath in, exhale. Let it all go. Deep breath in. You're doing great. Exhale. All right, deep breath in here. Okay. One more. Let it all go. I got you. Very nice. Here we go. Yeah. Nobody does it like that. I know. Well,
You've never been adjusted.
No,
I
never.
thought you were because you had a whole set of X-rays.
No,
and- yeah,
because
okay,
it
yeah.
just seemed really sort of
Yeah.
sketchy.
That's not a very good thing. If they're not adjusting patients.
The first visit, they took the X-rays. The second visit, they did all the lines and the degrees. And then my third visit was supposed to be the actual adjustments after I paid them the money. So I wisened up and said, yeah, I'm not going to do that one.
This is how they teach it in school. So I'm not, in the real world, when you want to care for people, you don't make them wait 3 visits before you adjust them. My dad would do something similar to that, but you still adjust them a little bit on the
Yeah.
first visit. Maybe you're not going to give them the full-blown treatment, but you at least get them some relief a little bit, knowing to leave certain areas alone, instead of, all right, come in, exam, X-ray, come back, report of findings, come back. What am I going to get some food here? I'm so sorry. All right, deep breath in, here we go. Exhale, let it go. I got you, bud. It's okay. It's okay, you're not going to fall, I got you. Exhale. All right, other side, I got you. First adjustment, you did good.
Oh, very good.
I'm so sorry, our world is not. Actually, I'm done today, actually. I'm going to have to. Yeah, we need to go.
That was the preview. You
Yeah,
gotta pay
yeah,
another
yeah, $3,000. And deep breath in, exhale. All right, face up. Very good. All right, face up. Gotcha. That's okay. Yeah, way too tight up here. This is typical because of the school posture and the school work and lifting weights.
I feel that right there, like
Tension, yeah. Gotta alleviate this. We'll get it. Yeah, right there. All right. There we go. There you go. That's okay, bud. There you go.
Ooh. Like, it's funny because I never thought I was this messed up. I thought I was just normal because I never did sports.
I get you. I got you.
Because, growing up, I have, I still have it, hyperhidrosis, so my hands, feet would sweat. I'd
I got
sweat
you.
like
You're fine,
a whole
yeah.
lot.
Yeah.
So I stay away from contact sports, so I felt like I had like a normal childhood.
Mm-hmm.
So I switched over to like video games, I really liked it.
Mm-hmm.
But then after I got like my hips started feeling funny.
Mhm.
I couldn't even sit normal for like a good while. So sitting, I would always have to lean like more towards one leg rather than just sitting on my butt. And that's how I would just game for hours like that.
I got you. Yeah, it's the typical student posture of being forward. And posture change does take time, but it does. At 19 years old, most of the time to do it is going to be you at home doing it. You understand? Cut lifestyle changes, meaning we teach you how different positions to do your gaming in, right? So not always spending all your time sitting with one foot underneath your foot, a foot under your butt.
Yeah.
You're kind of laying on your belly, laying on your side. Have a different type of chair that you can sit backwards in, and not being conformed to one position. What games do you play?
For me, it was mainly Destiny 2. I started playing some
Xbox.
Diablo
2 or 4 or what?
4.
Or the new
It
one,
was
yeah.
my first ever time playing it,
Okay.
so I was really stoked. But
A lot of fun, but it drops off at the end.
Oh,
right? It's
absolutely.
like, after you've gotten all your stuff, it's like, yeah, there's not much more I can, it's not like Path of Exile where you can keep on getting upgrades.
yeah,
You know?
it like slowly ramps down after you get like that whole adrenaline rush. Oh my gosh, look at all that! And then finally, after all the rewards, you're like, all right,
Right.
it's all kind of the same.
I think they tried to aim it toward more of a casual, gamer,
Audience, yeah.
But I don't know. I played D2 for so many years. To my wife's chagrin of, he plays too many video games. But I noticed that all the streamers that played D4 now have gone back to D2. It's like, that's a sad.
Yeah.
We're going back to a 20-year-old game. Anyway, so Destiny 2, that's Xbox, right? It's like a, what, 5-man raids?
It's 6-man raids.
6-man
I
raids.
switched over to using the computer because before on console I would just lay in bed and play.
Okay.
So then, like the only time I started recently feeling that my hips were like disaligned was when I actually stopped playing video games. Like I haven't played them quite some time.
So the video games made your back better. Is that what you're trying to say?
No.
Alright.
It was more because I would find like a very comfortable position.
I understand.
And now sitting in the office because my
Correct.
internship.
Right. Work, no good. Video
It's-
game, right.
Absolutely.
Okay.
It's like a whole right there, that whole line. Oof.
Well, you're going to see if you watch my videos, those little marks that come out, there's going to be a mark right here. So there's been such stiffness in here for so long that, and most of it might not even be from an injury. It might be just from posture, right? From being a student, lifting weights, the posture that those things require make this area stiff, create stagnation, dead blood starts to accumulate in here, inflammation starts to accumulate, and then when I go in here and release it, some of that you can see. So we'll look at it in a second, but there shouldn't be any knots up here. This is when I asked you to bring your head back. This restriction up here is preventing your neck from bending fully. And yeah, real quick, right there. Real quickly, a mark starts to come out. So this is directly correlates with what you can feel. When I was rubbing it, you go, Ed, there's something there. I can feel something's stuck. There's inflammation, like I said, stagnation that's been in here for so long that it's like like a pond. There's no, there's not like no river running through it to help wash it out. This just becomes tight, stiff, stagnant. There you go. Doing great. You okay?
Yeah. I just feel it.
Yeah, right there. Yeah, I know. Mm-hmm.
Like I can feel it tensing up. I'm like trying my best to relax.
You're fine. Part of it is, like I said, there can be even birth trauma injuries or child. Do you have any older siblings?
No. I'm only child.
Only child. Sometimes you have. I always think about older brothers or sisters that knock you down the stairs, or when you were a kid you don't even remember it. But what I'm saying is you can have injuries and you just don't remember. Part of it is your spine remembers. It doesn't forget traumas that we've had. And like right there definitely is something that got snagged. There you go. Oh. Yeah, right there. Loosening this up. Easy. It's okay. It's okay. There it is. Good. Yeah.
Whoa. Felt like my whole brain rattle in there.
So that's the same bone moving again, right? So it was like a drawer. The first adjustment moved it halfway, and then the second one fully close the joint. And then when we check in a minute, your neck should be able to bend more because that joint wasn't, that makes sense, they all have to come together to give you that range of motion. So some of the joints were fluid filled, stuck, and that's why you had that restricted range of motion in your neck. Let it go. I got you. All right, good. All right. Maybe you just sit up for me. You're doing good. Yeah. You're fine. Just gently, just easy. Breathe for a second. Okay?
Yeah, I feel that.
Just try to look up for me. Just gently look up. Yeah.
All the way, or?
As far as you can. Oh, yeah, there you go. I'm going to say, you had lost about 15, 20 degrees of your ability to bend back. There you go. There you go. Shirt off for me, face down. Like way too stiff up here. Like right here. Yeah. Way too stiff. It's okay. We'll get it moving. Right there. Yeah, this is what I mean by joint inflammation, right? All these joints are inflamed right here. Ribs, facets, right here. This is what's causing that tingling numbness. I remember the first time, I think I was like 15, I was sitting on my bed playing my Super Nintendo. Not that I played a Super Nintendo. I might have been like 13 or 14. I remember feeling it right in here, like a tingling, like ants were crawling on me. And it's the joints. It's the joints that are from slouching. It's really slouching that does it more than anything. Or than lifting weights while bent forward.
Like what you were discussing before, the slouching, I started realizing that when I started working out, because my mom actually got me into working out, and she was like, here, try this move, and it was a deadlift, and I loved it, so I tried researching as much as I can. I was like, all right, how do I do it properly so I don't mess it up, because I've seen what the injuries can do.
Right.
And the more I increased the weight, like, I made sure my lower back was fine, but then I didn't realize my upper back would start curving.
Correct. Hunching.
Yeah. And like back in my weightlifting, I would realize that my body would try compensating for pushing, because it was 1 rep max, and it would try compensating, so I would like start curving to the right in order to push it. And
Right.
I didn't even realize that until my coach said something, so I'm like, oh crap.
Right.
I felt that one.
Doing great. So I take it no deep tissue massage. Never had any massage on your work on your back at all, or nothing? A little bit.
I did. Mexico. But I don't really remember too much.
Yeah, that's going to be our target area right here. There's inflammation in here, bud. I'm sorry, our world has not helped guide you in getting rid of this. I know, right there. Come on, bud. Right there.
Oh.
If you're gonna be an athlete, you gotta have a car mechanic. If you're gonna be lifting weights and deadlifting and bench pressing, you're gonna have to make sure that we have your spine worked on, so that we ensure that your whole spine is working as a team. It's just quite often that when we're doing all that lifting, it's part of your back gets stiff, and then part of your back's left holding all the work mechanically. So, like right here, this is getting all jammed up. I know, I feel it. So we want, tightness for power, but we need flexibility for longevity. It's a balance of those two things that allow your spine to age evenly. All right, almost done, but come on. Okay. Help! Help is on the way, dear! My wife makes me do all these Instagram reels. I always start quoting them all the time now. Okay.
Yeah, it's funny because
Mhm.
normally I'm like,
Mhm.
I love doing squat with the barbell on my back,
Mhm.
but I stopped recently because I just felt something was off. Like I couldn't get the bar to look straight in the mirror because there was a mirror right in front,
Mhm.
and the bar would always either lean on one side, I always forget which side, but
Mhm.
oh,
Yeah. No, it's coming out.
Woo.
I found the inflamed joints here.
Oh, I feel that.
Mhm. Yep, I hear you. So like I said, your body was tilting to try to
Yeah.
alleviate pressure, and
And then I would always feel like one side of my either traps or shoulder get really tight whenever I have to squeeze my whole body and brace.
Mhm.
Because, that was the first thing I ever properly trained in weightlifting, how to brace properly, breathe in from the stomach rather than the chest and hold all that air in to really reinforce the lower back.
Mhm.
But ever since then, that's how I would brace, and my left trap would always get more engaged
Mhm.
rather than my right trap.
Yeah, rotator cuff. Somebody's got to clean this out. If you're gonna be an athlete, Terry's minor, Terry's major, rotator cuff, all this. This is why you have to want to take a hot shower after you're working out, mainly to hit the muscles. You want to hydrate the muscles with oxygen so you don't leave lactic acid in them, right? This is what makes you sore. Now, we don't necessarily want to get heat on the discs in the spine or the joints in the spine, but if you can take a hot shower, let the water hit the side of you,
Yeah.
where the muscles are, the shoulders, you want to dissipate some of the acidity that's in here. Mechanically, the discs are made of water, so if we get too much heat on them, especially one that's overworked, it'll swell up more than it's supposed to and get injured. So try to avoid heat on the spine, especially in the morning when everything's already going to be swollen, and then after a workout. Great. Oh, not there, Ed. I know all the hiding spots. Oh, right there. The lats that stretch here and clean this out here.
Ooh. I felt that one like shoot down my leg.
Way too much tension in here. Yep. The nerves that are in the glute, surround the sciatic nerve. So when you have that much tension in the glute, the nerve's already sensitized. So just a little extra pressure will make the nerve fire. It's like standing next to the Grand Canyon. One wrong step and you're in free fall. So we want to desensitize the tissue, get the nerve farther away from the threshold. There's just a lot of tension in here. Just part of it's because your body's seeking a position of relief. It's tilting things around, trying to, alleviate joint pain or mechanical overstressing. Breathe. It's okay. Breathe. Exhale. Good. Breathe. I got you. Breathe. Exhale. Very nice. Oh, we got it. You okay?
Yeah.
Draw it back down for me. There we go. There we go. It already moved. Breathe. I got you. Eds are amazing. See what I'm doing? Right? We're closing this area up here. People wondering, that's not a lower back adjustment. My hand's up here, pushing in and inducing curve here, and we're going to take it out of this area in a minute. We're making that area bend more. There it is. Good. Nice. I got you. I think we got them all. Yeah, right here. Yeah. Just going to hold. And even what I'm doing right now, I'm going to teach you in a minute how to do this on your back. You can use your own body weight to emulate this a little bit. So right over that tingly, numb area, we're going to just get some pressure on that. Good. So right over that's the way. That's where that tingly is coming from.
Yeah.
So part of it is that we call this inflammation, or lactic acid, nerve irritation. Okay. Ooh, that felt good. That felt good. There you go. Good. All right, gotcha. Easy. Oh, yeah. Very nice. I got you. Whew, this feels nice. I can tell you, no big injuries in here. Everything's moving. Does that make sense? If you had busted your ankle or soccer or something like that, it wouldn't move. You lifted my legs up for me. Go ahead and tilt your head to the right a little bit for me. All right, easy. Go ahead and tilt your head right. Tilt right. Okay. I don't think you have any adhesions in here. I think it's all moved. I got you. Tilt left. Here we go. Yep. Go ahead and tilt to the left. No, nothing. All right, just with your elbow push back.
Oh, my bad.
You're fine. Press back. It's okay. There we go. Good.
Sometimes it's already moved when you've done the tail that long.
There we go. I got you. There we go. Except for that one. Relax here. Still on. There you go. Nice. All right. This is where your neck isn't used to being, but where your neck belongs. And that's kind of going back to that x-ray you had on there. We have that, that green line. That's the arch that your neck should have. And in order for the neck to restore that curve, we have to hold you in that position. Does that make sense? To hold you in the curve position. So sometimes I'll take my hand, place it on my forehead, get my head to press in. Does that make sense? Get your head to sink in.
Oh, I gotcha.
And then you'll put your hand back down. You want to press it into the mold. That makes sense. And then it'll want to come out of it, but you have to keep kind of being a little, stubborn. Keep pushing it in, and then the more you do it, the more it'll want to remain curved. And so this is you're ready for this. This is the orthotic. The idea is to use this about a half hour before you go to bed. You can use it throughout the day, but the goal is to do it 20 times for 20 minutes, not in one day. People go 20 times. If you did one a day, it'd be 20 days. You want to get through about 20 times doing this, and you should see a big difference in the tension in your neck and shoulders. And then in a minute, we're going to get you on this roller, and we're going to use this as a way to actually push your chest in. So in the same time we bring your head back, we have to push the chest in. And you bend your knees. Yeah, go ahead and bend the knees. You can bend them. There you go.
Yeah.
Okay. To get off this, you don't lift your head up in terms of just your neck muscles. You use one hand to grab your head. So grab your head, lift your head, use the other hand to grab the device, and pull it out, and then lay your head back down. That's how you get off that. If it's too, like I said, your hands start going tingly, put them back on your belly, take a break. Okay, but I want you got to start practicing. Now let's roll back the way you came. So roll back. I know, breathe. When you move, it's going to be more difficult. You're not, I know. You understand? When you move, you're engaging the sensors a little bit more. They're more kinetic sensors than static sensors, so you're going to feel things a little more when you move. Yeah, stretch that. You got to start working on stretch. Nobody's ever stretched shoulders back, right? No. Yeah. Okay. This is the first time he's opened up his chest. We've been sitting in school, rounded forward, contracted, and now it's like, what? Open up? Like a little butterfly. Time to start stretching back. You're great.
Thank you.
Very good. All right.
Very good.
Thank you.